Being 7 o'clock, I'll call this meeting to order. Will you please join me in the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Glenn, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Grover?
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Here.
Mr. Helchanski? Mrs. Vanderwater?
Here.
Ms. Lesniak? Here. Mr. Tupper?
Here.
Mr. Zacharias?
Here. All right. And can I get a motion to approve the minutes from November 15th?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any comments or changes? See none, so we've got all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Exchange number 2 for number 3.
Citizens' comments, anyone wishing to address the board? Please step up and,
Got a big old smile on his face. Hello, so I am back from, I believe, the October 4th meeting. We addressed speeding.
Can you just do your name and address again?
Oh, sorry.
You
can move that down if you want to.
Jarmus, it's not even.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like.
Good morning. Hello.
No.
Nothing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Lisa Jarmus, address is 415 Idlewood Boulevard. So I was here October 4th meeting, addressing speeding concerns. Everybody agreed, well, everybody here agreed that enforcement from the police would be the best case scenario. And I've reached out a couple times via email and asked about when that was starting, and I got an email 7 weeks ago from your secretary saying that it would be starting, and in a month they would check back. So I'm just curious how that's going.
well, we've had two separate times that the sheriff's department has been out there.
Okay.
So
2 times?
2 different times.
Okay.
So it's called enhanced patrol. So
Okay.
they've got 2 separate enhanced patrols out there during that time period.
Okay.
So it's not just a single time, they do it over a period of several days.
Okay. Do we know the outcome of that?
I do not.
Okay. So the only time I've seen any sheriffs was after I emailed the school concerns about parents running the stop sign, bringing their kids in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I let the principal know. She's laughing. Like, I don't want to see a kid getting killed in front of my house, so it's frustrating. So I'm guessing nobody probably lives in my neighborhood or on my street. I know you had issues in your neighborhood, and you had police patrol for like the whole summer, and they were pulling everybody over. So I don't think anybody here lives in my neighborhood, so yeah. Anyways, I emailed the school, and they had police out there the very next morning. And that lasted not even 2 weeks, like a week and a half or whatever. They were out there just sitting at the stop sign, so obviously people were stopping at the stop sign because they're literally right there. I am more here to ask about traffic studies. Like, how would we go about that? Because I saw there was one done on Kriegel Street, so how would we?
What do you need a traffic study for?
Because I want to see how fast these cars are going and to see what can be done
Well, a traffic study counts the number of cars that go on a road. It
Okay.
doesn't check their mile per hour.
Okay,
It's
because.
like a safety study, which I think you're.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I misspoke, sorry. So, because I saw there was one done on Kriegel Street, and I think the average said was like 47 miles an hour or
It
something.
just counts the number of cars on that road.
So, and just to clarify,
Okay.
the Kriegel
Yeah.
traffic study was that was at the cost of the developer
Okay,
for part of the development proposal. That wasn't
Okay.
something that the town funded,
I
that was
think she's
something.
talking about Kriegel Street, not Kriegel Road.
Oh,
I saw, it was in one of the
Kriegel Street
minutes.
is in
That was
Lysander.
the,
Kriegel Street's across the river and the other.
It's in Lysander.
It was in the minutes
Well, it's in-
for this though,
That was
was
Kriegel
ours.
development that she just was talking about.
and it showed a speed limit though. Or not a limit, but like,
So again, it was at the cost of the developer. We didn't have anything to do with it, with his development. It's part of the requirement of what he needed to supply the town with. So what he, I don't know,
it's to
Jason.
mitigate traffic. So that was done because you have somebody with a proposal for the development over off of Kriegel Road. And it's projected, or it's proposed that there's going to be a certain number of single-family homes and a certain number of apartments. So as part of that development process, they had to provide a traffic study on what that traffic impact from developing that property would have on, for example, Downer Street or access points, and what improvements, if any, would be necessary to accommodate the influx of traffic. So that wasn't something that was town funded, was my mind.
Okay, because the thing that I saw in the email just said, like this average speed limit was 47, or it's not limit, the average speed from cars was 47 miles an hour. And whoever the person's name was, that they wanted to know what can be done to slow the traffic down.
His name was
Because that's part of the
Andy.
mitigation of traffic.
Okay.
So they do that as part of the entire analysis, because it's not, in that case, they want to be able to go back and say, this is how many cars, we know they're traveling at this rate of speed, so as part of your development proposal, you need to not only be, making this part up, right, but you need to install a traffic signal, you may need to have speeds reduced, whatever it might be, that is the recommendation of the traffic engineer.
And
So if, oh, go ahead, Jason.
the town has ordered those digital speed signs that check people's speeds, and that logs times when people are speeding. So once we get those, we can supply those logs. to the
Any
sheriff's
idea on
office.
those or no?
The latest
The end of August.
is, they were originally supposed to be August. The latest now we're hearing from the vendor is February.
Okay.
And so, and Doug, we don't buy them, we rent them, right?
No, we are
We
purchasing.
purchased them.
Okay, and how many are we purchasing?
We are purchasing two.
And how much are they each?
I would have to go back and look, because most likely they've changed. But
Just ballpark?
ballpark, 4,000 apiece.
Okay. So I know that you had posted on social media, I saw it, that, oh my God, the town of Van Buren doesn't own these. We don't own them.
Well, I got an email from him saying that it's on a schedule and he would have to check the schedule to see when Idlewood could get moved up, implying that you guys had them.
That's because they were due in August. So we already have several neighborhoods that have requested them.
But you could have said we don't have them yet in our possession.
So my point is, we're buying them specifically for this situation. We don't have them, we never did, we didn't have a reason. So taxpayer funds are being used to purchase these for your road specifically. So I don't want you to have.
It's not just my road.
It's the whole town.
Okay, well, you just said it's your neighborhood, so I'm going off of that, so I'll take
Yeah.
that back. But we are doing what we can. So blasting the town board on social media that we're not doing anything really isn't fair.
Because you guys aren't doing
That's
anything,
not
you
true
laughed
at
at the
all.
stop sign idea, yes.
I laughed at the stop sign idea.
You said it was silly when I asked for a stop sign last meeting.
I don't recall saying that, but to have a stop sign here and one a couple feet up is ridiculous.
It's
It's
not a
not.
couple feet, okay.
So can I just, I wasn't at the October meeting, so
Okay.
this is technically my first time hearing
Okay.
it live, I guess we'll go.
Yeah.
So, would you say in the last 2 months you haven't seen any difference in the people? And then, do you have time frames that, I don't know if you're home certain times that you notice?
I'm home
Is
every
it-
morning. I don't go to
is it
work until
mostly
about
the
11. It's mostly in the morning, the people
going
driving their
around?
kids, picking them up. So 7 to 9, it's a speedway really from 8 to 9, 8:30 to 9 is like the high peak.
So
And then
running
after
late and-
school,
yeah.
what's that?
Because then they're running late. And
Yeah, give yourself 30
Will we be
seconds.
able to provide the sheriff's office with the
Absolutely,
time
that
frame?
was
Okay, so
exactly,
we
and I
did.
actually requested they come during those two peak times for their enhanced patrol, and then a month later, the same thing.
And
for
have
a
you
second.
reached out to the sheriff's office yourself too? Okay.
Yep,
'cause
I
it's-
filed
I mean,
online
it's something we
complaints,
can
yeah.
request, and it's
Yeah.
very hard for us to control because
Yeah.
it's not our police force.
Yeah,
So,
they don't want to do it, and it's gonna be a kid getting killed before something happens, unfortunately, you know?
I know.
So,
So,
well, what about, she doesn't think a stop sign's appropriate, but what about further up on Daywood, just to slow down the traffic? So Mr. Foster came out, added a couple signs. One is literally the one block, like here, saying school ahead. I reached out to the school superintendent asking for more signs too. How come there's no school zone signs, you know, flashing lights, whatever? Obviously, not all the schools have flashing lights. I don't think they were aware that there was no school zone. Yeah. So then the sign is literally, okay, you're coming to a stop. People know it's a school, you know. that's besides the point. But most of the traffic is coming up from 48, going the long way up Idlewood, heading towards Reynolds, and then there's a stop sign there. So most neighborhoods have stop signs like throughout the neighborhood to slow you down from like cut through roads, you know? You're driving, you're like, oh, this is a weird place for a stop sign. Well, yeah, it took me until my adult years to figure out why there's a stop sign and a three-way stop sign when you're driving down the street or walking down the street. You're like, this is a weird place. What happened to get the stop sign there? You always wonder that, you know? So now I'm seeing all this, you know, hazardous driving, and I just think there should be some sort of control to get cars to stop or slow down coming up 48, because they're going up to 50 miles an hour.
I'm happy to request a stop sign with DOT. That's not an issue.
That would be requesting a stop sign with highway. I mean, have you reviewed it?
We can't approve it.
We don't approve. I mean,
So we
it
said.
has to go, the board has to approve it and put it into a code and then they can install it.
I think we can take a look out there and see what we can do stop sign related. I think
As
that's.
far as, just to clarify a quick thing about the signs, we installed 2 new signs. We have many, many more to go up, but me and the town engineer looked at what we can do out there, and we're upsizing the speed limit signs, just so you know that, because they're right now, I believe they're 18 by 24, and we're going to 20 by 30 for larger, more presence.
Okay.
Those run back order because they're not typically used. We ordered these specifically for the situation. They just came in last week. However, our jet rotor is currently tracing road equipment getting repaired, and that's what we plunged the holes with. But we now at least have all the signage in. As soon as that vehicle gets back, we'll be out there to.
Yeah, you said you ordered them,
Quite a
yeah.
bit more signage.
I just thought that was the 2 signs. I'm like, really?
No,
You wasted your
no,
time
no.
on these 2 things? I'm like, that was
There's
pointless, okay.
Substantially more,
Yeah.
more speed limit.
Because the one coming up Idlewood is a triangle, like a caution with people walking.
Which is the standard
Yeah.
sign for
Yeah.
school zone ahead, and that, but we also will be adding school and ahead.
Gotcha,
with the
okay.
speed.
I couldn't remember if you told me before if the school was responsible for that or whatever.
No, we are
So much
taking care of that.
information.
We are taking care of
Okay,
that, Mark.
okay.
So I definitely think we're making strides. I think
Okay.
what you're seeing is government moves slow.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate.
Well,
It
he
can be
said he ordered
frustrating.
signs,
Right.
and I just thought those were the 2 signs, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, no, it's such a process.
And he
it
even-
can be very
yeah.
frustrating, but.
He witnessed cars speeding as well. You saw how
They're
fast.
Cars,
Oh, I do not doubt that that's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
mean,
know.
the videos you posted, I was in shock. In shock at
Yeah.
how fast they were going.
Yeah.
to be honest with you, that, in a side note, the things that I know the board that was here 8, 9 years ago, we narrowed up a couple of roads. Those roads in Village Green are so wide,
Yeah.
they're very conducive to
Speeding.
cruising along. It's a natural side effect.
And it makes them drive on the other side of the road, I've noticed too.
Work in progress.
Okay, I have one more question. What about, I don't know if it's the state or whatever, there's a couple orange signs for 15. What about swapping those out for white signs?
Where are the orange? I don't remember.
There's one next door to me at 413. There's one across the street from me, the house next, nope, that's a white sign. Up further, coming from 48.
Oh, yes,
I think
yes.
it's like
They're
406.
actually the faded out safety ambers, yes. Those are getting replaced.
Okay, with white signs?
They're all gonna, any signage that will be out there will all be the high visibility safety green, which is the newer ones.
Okay.
With a white with black surround.
Okay.
for speed limit signs.
Okay,
Those will all, they will all be the new ones because.
Okay.
Those are actually,
because people disregard those signs
they're
and they're
dangerous
old,
cautionary
yes,
versus
yeah,
regular.
yeah.
No, the new ones are all gonna be white.
Okay, because I'm like, why would it be cautionary? I understand cautionary, but the only white signs are like 80 feet from the stop sign. You're coming to a stop, you're not gonna be going 30 miles an hour when you're literally one house from a stop sign.
Yep.
I mean, it's possible, but more than likely, you're coming to a stop, so,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
That's huge, and I appreciate that, so, yeah. And it's just extremely frustrated, so.
It must, I'm watching it and having kids and people literally breaking the law every day, I would be losing my mind too.
Okay.
But I just want to understand that the process unfortunately takes time. We did take the measures to order new signs, to order speed limit signs, to order the signs that will track and show speed limit. And there are other things that I'm working on for my office that will help us to be a lot more responsive with those types of patrols.
Okay.
Not always depending on the sheriff's department. So these things all take time and they have to be done on a particular process and
Yeah, I just wish when you told me that the things are on a schedule, the signs, the electronic signs, I just wish that you were more clear that you didn't have them in your possession, because to me, it looked like you were just blowing smoke up my ass, you know? And you gotta look at
I
it
wasn't
from
sure
my
if
point
I
of view.
usually, did I say will? I thought I said would be on a schedule. Because I do
You
have
said
two-
they are on a schedule and you
Right,
would
'cause
check it, yeah.
Because I have two other neighborhoods that were gonna be that had already requested those signs from the time we ordered them, and you would have been the third neighborhood.
Okay, but yeah, it just
But you
sounded,
didn't realize we were purchasing them.
right, but to me, the email, it sounded like you guys had them already, the
Right.
way that I was reading the
Right.
email, so.
So just now, I didn't realize we were purchasing, I thought we were getting them from the county too. So I can totally relate to what you were just saying.
No, the vendor has somewhere in the neighborhood of 26 or 28 of them on order for different municipalities around that county.
Okay.
It's a common, unfortunately, it's a common problem.
Yeah, traffic fatalities are going up because of lack of control. So lots of studies about that.
Yeah.
And these are,
Unfortunately.
and again, things that I can't necessarily talk about in open session that are being worked on in the background to help us ensure that we'll have better and more on-point policing for this exact situation, which in large part that those wheels have started turning because of your visit.
Okay. And anybody is more than welcome to come sit in my driveway. I'll bring them out some coffee. You guys can watch these cars go flying by and you will freak out. It's so yeah, it's sad. It's sick. So,
And I would keep bugging the sheriff's department, because like Darcy said, that's not our office. We don't have control over it.
Right.
We
We
don't.
can ask,
Yeah.
you know, but if you keep being that squeaky wheel, maybe they'll actually do something.
I filed traffic complaints online. Dozens of times I've offered my driveway. I've seen them in passing the couple mornings that they were outside after I contacted the school. I said, hey, like, you guys can sit in my driveway, you know, you're more than welcome. All my neighbors are like, they can sit here, whatever, you know. I have a couple friends that are sheriffs. Unfortunately, they're not in that area, so
Right.
they have really no control over it. I've stopped at the trooper station on Route 31, because I've called the troopers, and then they're like, oh, we'll be down, da-da-da, and then nothing, and then so I stopped. I'm like, I don't know if I can just walk in, so I just popped and talked to a gentleman, and he patrolled for a little bit that afternoon, but nobody came back the next morning, and he had just missed, like, the prime pickup time, by like a half an hour, but he was cruising around for like an hour, and it was nice, but at that point, traffic was kind of like at a low, you know?
Right.
So it's like 2:30 to 3:30, and then it calms down until probably like almost 5, you know, so.
I've seen sheriffs stop the cars on Van Buren Road because it's a 20-mile-an-hour limit here, right past the school.
Yeah.
Schools can get on at 15 miles an hour.
That's the
Yeah,
limit.
it's 15 in front of my house, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
They can
nobody's
do
gonna
it.
pull over, yeah.
That's the cross.
We'll have Gerber again, a little more forceful.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody gets hurt before
yeah,
they get
yep,
this.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, in
All right,
addition
thank you,
to
guys.
everything else, Lisa, I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
call the lieutenant in charge of the sheriffs here and again, request another enhanced patrol and be a little more forceful about the times and getting some results.
Yeah, I'm
Some
not always home
visible
in the afternoon,
results.
so I don't always see them, but I've never seen one in the afternoon, besides the time I stopped at the troopers and
Maybe you should make them coffee and donuts.
I will. I will. I bought a package of to-go coffee mugs, like cups, styrofoam cups or paper cups or whatever, just in
Yep.
case, you know.
Put a star on it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you again. Anyone else wishing to address the board? All right, we'll move on to item number 1, approval of vouchers. All vouchers to a total of $179,883.95. Could I get
I'll make that
a
motion.
motion? Any questions or comments?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? That motion carries. Item number 2, we have a series of budget modifications. This standard procedure at the end of the year, make sure that all the money is in the proper places to pay for bills. There are several. I'm going to go through all of them. Everyone has seen the budget modification table.
Lynn, were you provided a copy of this, of the budget modifications? Okay, there is one little edit, and I'll connect with you afterwards. Should be 14,800 going into the attorney retainers instead of 13,000.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget modifications as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Third is get the board's approval to pay our last installment for the ban for the Village Green Sewers. This is important for a number of reasons, not the least of which is that we don't own the sewers anymore. This is a bond going back all the way to 2003. It now leaves the town with only a single ban or bond that is for the highway garage. And it's a good place for our municipality to be. Could I get a motion for this?
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor?
I
Opposed?
love paying off debt.
I do too.
So how much is the last installment?
$40,000. That was on a $1 million ban 20 years ago. All right, that is our whole agenda for today. We will be going into an executive session at the end, though.
Okay, good.
Council committee reports and comments. Howard?
Yeah, I'd like to remind everybody that tomorrow is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
It is indeed. Yes. Thank you, Howard.
I
Jenny?
wasn't there,
You were there.
but I've known people that were.
Oh, Mr. Tucker.
I have a Kenwood's Senior Center meeting tomorrow at 7:45. I'm going to report an update to you. They just finished on the 21st of the November month, the pavement of the walking path. So tomorrow I get to see it. That's it.
Excellent. Bob?
The only comment I had was I noticed we're coming down Downer, turning onto Sorrel. The Sorrel Street sign has been taken down, I believe it was last winter, due to a car accident. But there's also another sign, a bigger sign that I believe is the direction sign for 690 that has been laying in the ground. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe we can get that sign put back up.
So is that us or is that county?
Or state.
Most of those, it sounds like both of the state,
State signs.
but definitely the state county.
Yeah. Is there a contact that we can make?
I'll call tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Do you know what signs he's talking about, Doug?
No, but I'll drive out there tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you can't miss them. Actually, there's cones set up right next to them.
Yeah,
So-
so most likely if there was cones or breakaway posts, which means they most likely coned them. And,
Well, we know how this state works, so.
yeah,
So they might say, we're already aware of that and we'll get to it.
but I would double check, call them.
Because there's
Okay.
phones.
Yes, there's cones there, so everything's fine. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Darcy?
No, I don't have anything this evening.
Wendy?
I don't have anything either.
Really?
Just move on. Just do it.
You feel all right? Doug, any comments tonight?
Nothing this evening.
Jason?
I have no comments this evening.
I've got nothing.
Nadine? Lynn? Nothing for Lynn either, okay.
It's a royal flush.
There we go.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep, motion to adjourn and go into executive session for personnel matter. I expect no actionable items. You're welcome to stick around till the end if you'd like.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
We're gonna get together with Jason.
No.